as the home squad emerge from the tunnel. They're ready for football and ready to watch their Rams do battle with the Baltimore Ravens. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now the third leading rusher in the NFL last year, Todd Gurley. And from the 25, they worked this to the 29, a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Hey, kill. Hey, Zoo. 49.
To throw is gone. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Goff now to throw, and that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Returnable for Grant. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram, and not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up. Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. Well, Snead figures to be an important veteran presence for Lamar Jackson. 2 years ago, it was a disappointing 2017 for Snead. That was in New Orleans, but then had a bit of a bounce-back campaign a season ago in his first go-around with Baltimore. 62 catches, 650 yards. Didn't have surgery in the offseason on his left index finger, but back to full health and ready to go. Now, that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Let's go. Here we go, G. All day, defense, all day. All day. Hey.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to hold that one in.
On third down, Jackson. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. Past the 20. There he goes left side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Justice Hill, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Let's bring it. Hey, let's go. Go, Brown. Brown.
Goff wants to throw on 3rd and 1. They got a man. It's Woods. Forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Here we go, D. Get off the field. Watch the ship. Shell. Watch the ship. Louis.
2nd and 5 now. Gone. That'll be caught by Cobb. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 24-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Cut. 180. Mike, 49. Let's go one more. Cut.
Delayed give, Goff to Gurley. And Gurley, he fumbled it. Gurley fumbles the football. It's loose. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Ravens 7, Rams nothing.
Cut. 120. Pass control. Cut.
Throwing on second down. Goff. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. The Rams, they are on the move. They've got another first down. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Here we go. My 20. You remember me? You remember me? Hey, 76. 76. 49. 76. 49. I got it. Show it up.
Now it's gone. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Carr.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goal.
Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
It's second and 8 at the 35-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there. All right. Set.
Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. The Rams bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd.
Just like that. Just like that. 49. 49 to Mike. 49 to Mike. Mike's 49. What's that? 49. Let's go, defense. Let's get out the... 2 for 1. 2 for 1. 2. Kill.
Out of the gun. Gone. He's letting it fly for... And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Brandon Cooks, his first touchdown on the year. And the Rams have taken the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do... And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And he takes it across for a Rams touchdown. huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it. But you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
He's checking. Crash. He's checking crash.
Now Jackson. It's complete to Snead. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
First down, Baltimore.
Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore the middle of last year, led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. That strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. And now Jackson's a known commodity. He's the unquestioned starter, and with increased expectations and pressure on the former Heisman Trophy winner. On second down, Ingram. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And down to the 16-yard line. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target.
Here we go. Pittsburgh. Got the pass. Here we go.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. They were trying to go to Brown once again, but it'll be second down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. Now it's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mark Andrews, there, and it's 3rd and 5.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance, too.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Again, Jackson. And it's caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal.
Check the backer, check the backer.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson taking it in as they have now chopped this lead down to 3.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
You got nothing.
From the gun, here's Goff. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish.
Super 1. 49
the mic. Watch 49. Come on, boy. Come on.
On 2nd and 10, Goff. And he's got the hook up here. It's Woods. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 22 yards there, a first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, D. Man up, D.
12.
Check 24. Check 24.
DC. We're good.
Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
Hardball.
March 49. March.
5.
Gone. And his throw here's incomplete. Cooper Kupp was his intended target, and that'll make it third down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on second down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. On the draw, Goff gives to Gurley. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. Zuerlein, of course, last year had likely the iconic field goal of the season, booting that 57-yarder in the Superdome to send his squad to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you really hurt the Saints fans on that one, didn't you?
Sorry.
They didn't want to hear that at all. But this guy deserves his nicknames. Greg the Leg, Legatron, because the ball goes through the post at a heavy rate, 87% in 2018.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I'd maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Set, ready, go to base. Touchdown, defense.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. Snead's got it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And this one is right down Broadway. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Quit talking about it and bring it.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. This will be caught by Brown. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 29-yard line. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Now Jackson on first down. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Back to the running game. It's Ingram. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, it's Hill. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Justice Hill, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Ravens have retaken the lead. Now, you don't see option pitches a whole lot in the NFL, but there worked out pretty well, resulted in a touchdown.
And it's hard for defenses because they don't see it very often, so the time in preparing each week is probably minimal. So when it comes at them, it's often a surprise. And what a nice job on the read. Pitch to the running back, and he takes it all the way in for a touchdown.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. A shotgun snap for Goff. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Goff. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. Here comes Grant on the return. And shoving his way inside the 35. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
This is one of those plays that has an equal chance of either being a big gain or a big loss. But with the college influence, we're seeing more of these plays come into the NFL.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. They'll go with Hill here on first down. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
From the 31, Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
First down, Baltimore.
I'm going back to you.
Now a first down carry. It's Hill. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Justice Hill, his 3rd touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year, as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite so.
Trying to find Cup, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Carr. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now in Los Angeles. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the 4th and final quarter. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. First down Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards. So many questions about Todd Gurley in the offseason. How good is the knee? I mean, remember, he had a heavy workload the last couple years, nearly 4,000 yards from scrimmage, 40 total touchdowns, but just 4 carries in the NFC Championship game, 10 in the Super Bowl. So we'll see what kind of usage he gets this season.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley.
It's not something that we see every game now. Todd Gurley, held below 50 yards, and we are in the fourth quarter. Got to give a lot of credit. They've done a nice job of bottling him up.
They absolutely have. And a lot of times he can still find holes, but there haven't been the holes there. The offensive line hasn't created much space. They go with Gurley on first down, but he goes nowhere. They bottled him up for a loss of a couple. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
That's another Rams first down. First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's first and 10. Here's gone. He'll find Henderson there. It's complete.
Boom! That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Go.
Back to the ground game here. Gurley. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Matt Judon able to record his 5th sack of the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Goff and his guys not coming off the field. They're going for this. On 4th down, Goff. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Ravens are going to get the football back. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a play in the catch.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
At the 30-yard line.
33. Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
Again, it's Hill. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for the Ravens, their playoff chances take an uptick as they move to 7-4. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for L.A., it's